Okay, so let's make food.py. First, we have to ask the user for their favorite food. We have to add the food to a list then. And every time they visit the page, it should print the list of favorite foods. I'm going to start with, maybe I'll start with this section here to ask the user for their favorite food. So maybe I'll have, a main page. Currently I don't have an index page, a main page here, which is why this came up with an error. So let's say app.route, my main page, my index page. I will call this index. And I want this to come from a HTML file. So I'm going to need to return render template, and that will get it from a HTML file. My file I'll call, maybe foods.html, which will list all of the foods. If I save this and go over here and refresh, obviously it will come up with an error because, hopefully an error. Oh, no error at all. How odd. Oh, I know why. Because I've already got a foods.html file here. So it's loading this. So it's happily loading this blank page. I need to actually ask the person, so I might say, what is your favorite food? Question mark, save. Go over here and refresh. There we go, and it says it. So it's loading this, so food.py is loading this HTML file. I've asked the question, but there's nowhere they can actually put their answer. So let's have an input here. It's going to be just a text input, and name might be, I don't know, fave food. I need to close this tag, so I'm going to do a closing to close this tag. Again, save, go over here, refresh, excellent. I have a place where they can enter their answer. An input won't work, it won't do anything unless I have it inside a form. So let's add a form here. There we go, form. So that's the opening form tag. This opening form tag needs a friend, it needs a closing form tag. So that will go down here so that this is inside the form. Not much different, doesn't look any different. Although now, when I press enter, it will submit the form. To make things a little bit easier to see, it's actually posting it up here. It's posting it as a GET request. How messy. I would like it to send, as we normally do in Flask, as post data. So it's going to be method equals post. And I need some page to process that as well, something to handle the food that they've entered. So the handle, what should we do when they press enter, when they click the button? Maybe it would take them to save food or add food or something. So this will redirect us to a page called save food. I might get a button as well, input type equals submit, not button, but submit, which will make a submit button. Refresh. There we go. So I can either type my thing and press enter, or I can click on submit. Now I've said to go to save food, but we don't have save food here. We've only got one page, which is the main page. So let's make a new route for save food. I should put the slash in. There we go. Define, so I'm going to call this function save food because I'm not a very creative person. I will need, because this is something that accepts post input from the user, I will need to put methods equals post here. Let's have a look at the error that happens if I don't. I'm just going to return blah. So this will be a blank page. So if I go back here, my server's crashed, so I'll go up and run it again. There we go. Let's have a look at the error that happens. Method not allowed. You can see it's trying to get it from slash save food, but it's not allowed because it's sending a post. So I need to say, yeah, this accepts data from the user. I need to allow post to this page. I can send that again and resubmit the form. There we go. So it does run this line. I need to save the thing that they said. I need to save it, and it's going to be a list of everything that everyone has said. See, it says add food to a list. So let's make a list up here of maybe fave foods. I tend to use plural, with an S if it's a list. Maybe the foods, maybe I might have banana and waffles. So I've got 2 things already in the list. I press refresh. There you go. It doesn't seem to do anything because all I've done is declare this new list. I would like to add something to the list. What I'd like to add is the thing that they entered here. So fave food, I want to add that to the list. So let's save that to a variable, maybe the user fave food. That's going to be something that they've posted in the form, right? And it comes from the request that they've sent. Just to go back and illustrate. So they've got this form here, they've got a submit button. This form here, when you click submit, it'll send a request. And inside that form, there will be a value called fave food. So I can get the value of whatever fave food is. So fave food is the property, and this here will return whatever it's set to. So if the user has said, I don't know, pizza, then it will set this to be pizza. As a debugging tool, let's do print user fave food and check that it appears in the console. So my favorite food is pizza. Submit. Excellent. It really does print it to the console. It says pizza. So I've saved that. I would like to add it to the fave foods list. Python has a fairly easy way of adding something to a list. I've got fave foods, which is my list, and I want to append, which means add to the end of. I want to append whatever their fave food was. User fave food. Good. And that should add it to the list and then say blah. I'm going to go back to my main page and type in pizza. Did it work? Didn't it work? I don't know. It's hard to test. It's always important to test, but how can I possibly know if it worked if it only ever says blah? To test it, what would be useful is if in this home page, I'll go back to the home page. In this home page, if it actually listed all the foods here. So instead of just blindly spitting out this page as is every time without changing it, I want to pass some information to it. I want to pass fave foods. I want to pass this variable to the HTML file. The way I do that, fave foods equals fave foods. This says, get this list here and send it to the HTML file. Send it to foods.html. In foods.html, I can use fave foods to access it. So let's print up here, maybe below actually. I'll make a heading for it. Current foods. And I'm going to use my curly brackets to say, what do I call it? Fave foods. I put an S on because it was a list. It's plural, there's more than one, potentially. So let's refresh. There we go, favorite foods, banana and waffles. And if I say pizza, it just says blah, as usual, because I just made it return blah. But if I go back to that main page, hopefully it has added it to the list. Hopefully it is an extra item in that list. Let's check. Yes, excellent, it works. There's a few ways we can make this better. One way we can make this better is instead of, what a horrible user experience. You press submit, and then it just says blah. It doesn't take you back to the list. If they save something successfully, let's redirect them, and we'll redirect them back to the home page. The home page you can do just with a slash. That means go back to the main page of the website. That'll take them to this page here. So once it's added to the list, it'll just redirect them to the main page. So let's refresh. Yeah, confirm. Good. Favorite food, pizza. Hopefully, it'll add it to the list and take me back to this page. Beautiful. I don't even see the second page. What's another food? Nutella. Submit. Beautiful. As a final thing to make it look really pretty, really nice, this is a bit ugly. It's showing it as a Python list. Yeah, it's got commas and apostrophes in it, square brackets. Let's make each of these be printed one by one after the other. The way we can do that is we can say for fave food in fave foods. There's nothing special about this name. I could have called this, blah. I could have called this anything. but I find it easy when I'm going through fave foods, when I'm going through that list, I'm going through one at a time, and this, sorry, just put this in here. So this will run once for every item in here. In this case, it'll run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll run 5 times, and for each time, fave food will be set to whatever I'm looking at. So the first time, fave food will be banana, and the second time, it'll be waffles. Let's save and have a look how that turns out. So I can say, you may notice as well, whenever you save and refresh, it's quite likely that your thing might be lost, sorry. So you might lose your information. If I restart my server, then all the information is lost. But it does seem to print them all out. There you go. Gooble's. Fluffy. Nice. There we go. Some delicious foods there. To get them all on each line, it might be useful to have each of them inside an element. Maybe each of them might be a little heading, like a H2. H2 is a subheading, whereas H1 is a main heading. Slash H2. There we go. So now it'll print the favorite food, each of them, one by one, in a H2. Pizza. Beautiful. How cool is that? So I think you should be set up now to try the challenge. So good luck. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I'll see you next video.